The first thing I wanted to talk about today, out of respect, I feel like it's the most important topic on my mind, is these fires in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah. Welcome back. We're your host, Savannah.
And Kaylin, I have found some interesting information that I'm not sure if you know about, and it just wouldn't sit right with me if we didn't talk about it today.
Yeah.
So I did take some notes so I wouldn't get any facts, twisted. But the lahaina fire is actually the deadliest wildfire in the US in more than a century.
Really? More than a
Yeah,
century?
more than a century.
Oh my God.
Didn't know that.
I didn't either.
One of the things people were pointing out that's weird is when you look at natural wildfires, if you look at the trees, they are black, no leaves.
Mm-hmm.
There's just a certain look to it, and a lot of the trees in Hawaii are fine.
What the heck? What kind of trees do they have in Hawaii, though?
Well, there's people conspiring that it wasn't a natural wildfire,
Oh.
which we'll talk about a little bit more. But I just want to talk about some of the things that I thought were fucked up.
Okay.
Water was turned off when
Wait,
these
like
fires
all water
happened.
in the community?
All water, even the firefighters ran out of water.
How does that even
We didn't have
happen?
access. The alarms were not set off at all. School was canceled that day because of the hurricane. So all of these kids were at home alone without their parents
Oh my God, my
when this
heart.
went down.
Yeah.
Escape routes were blocked by fallen power lines and trees and stuff, so people couldn't get out.
Wait, this is sounding like very malevolent and purposeful. But why?
I'll get to that.
Oh
So
God. Okay.
here is the big kicker. They knew that there was a hurricane coming through.
Yeah.
They have systems in place for natural disasters. They are on an
Right.
island. They have
Mhm.
plenty of systems in place. The power lines were never shut off. And there's actually a
Mm.
lawsuit happening because there is video footage proof that the power lines that got knocked down by the winds that were still live caused the fire.
What?
They're allegedly, people think it caused all of it, but they don't have factual
Yeah,
proof yet that
proof.
it caused all of them. But there is a lawsuit, a class action lawsuit going on
Oh my God.
against the power company
The
because
plot
they were
thickens.
negligent. They were negligent and didn't turn off the power. That's the first step.
Yeah.
Here is an article from CNN, okay?
Okay.
As gale force winds rushed the slopes of Maui's mountains early Tuesday morning, Shane True, I think his name is pronounced True,
Mhm.
stood outside his home with a garden hose, one of the first people in Lahaina to fight what would become America's deadliest wildfire in more than a century.
Oh
A
my God.
power line on his street had been knocked down against the howling winds, and True said in a Facebook Live video, which showed flames in the grassland across the street and thick smoke obscuring his sweeping ocean view.
Wow.
County and state officials have said the cause of the fire has not yet been determined, but in a lawsuit filed Saturday, a Lahaina couple argued that Hawaiian Electric and 3 subsidiaries, including the power utility that services Maui, were responsible for the blaze.
Wow.
The company inexcusably kept their power lines energized during the storm, despite warnings from the National Weather Service about dangerous winds, the lawsuit stated. That caused loss of life, serious injuries, destruction in hundreds of homes and businesses, displacement of thousands of people, and damage to many of Hawaii's historic and cultural sites.
How did they miss something like that is what I want to know. How? Especially with all the protocol put in place that they had. I mean, it's Hawaii, for heaven's sake. Like, they do.
So, their siren warning system, the largest in the world,
Hmm.
with about 400 alarms, was not activated at all during the fires.
That's not sus at all.
Yeah. That's according to Hawaii Emergency Management Agency.
Do you know if they ever had issues with that in the past?
Not that I'm aware of.
Hmm.
So here's another weird coincidence.
Okay.
You know the police chief John Pelletier that was the main one in response to the 2017 Vegas massacre?
Mm-hmm.
He's now the police chief of Hawaii.
Really? Oh my
Yes.
god, I'm like connecting the dots in my head over here. Hmm.
So it just gets deeper, okay?
Okay.
Investors are already sending offers to the victims to try to buy their land.
No.
Now,
Bro.
let me explain something. Hawaii, all of these historic land, like
Yeah.
all these historic places,
Yeah.
investors can't get their hands on because it's historic. Not
Right.
anymore, they're burnt down.
Wow. So does that mean they can get their hands on it because it burnt
Yes.
down, so now it's like open
Yep.
to them basically?
Yep.
Hmm.
And there's
Hmm.
actually petitions against it, which I will link in the bio of
Okay.
this video.
So
It
this was
has,
already a problem that they were worried about.
yeah, people have been trying for years to get their hands on this land.
Wow.
So here's another crazy thing. A month before all this happened, guess who bought 870 acres of land in Maui?
Who?
Oprah Winfrey.
Hell no. Oh my god. Wait, this does not surprise me at all though, because I've always felt like she was sketchy.
There's so much stuff surrounding her and her name and conspiracies revolving around
Yeah.
her. And yes, some people will argue, well, it's Hawaii. Why wouldn't she want to buy land there? But it's just weird timing.
The timing.
So she purchased the land for nearly 6.6 million in the recent months, adding
Okay.
to hundreds of acres of real estate she already owns
So
there.
she already had land there
Yes.
and she bought more.
She bought 4 parcels total, according to the
Okay.
sales deed obtained by Maui Now. 2 large parcels were sold February 10th, about 520 acres, and went for 3.89 million, and 330 acres were sold for 2.47 million.
Damn. What's she doing with all this land?
Right. So, I don't know, it's such a tragedy, and
Mhm.
I feel for all of these people who just lost their home, just lost everything,
Mhm.
lost their family.
Devastating.
And now, what do they have? People snorkeling around dead bodies because people are still visiting Hawaii and
Yeah.
still snorkeling in the waters where 1,000 people are still missing.
That is so disrespectful. It's not even funny. People talk about like going visiting the Titanic 100 years later because you're
Yeah,
desecrating their graves. Okay, what about Maui? To me, I mean
right.
that's worse. It's more recent. It
And
just
harassing
happened.
them to buy the land.
Oh man, don't get me started on that. Do they
Right,
I mean they have no heart, no empathy. They
right.
can't.
And then the police chief I was speaking about,
Yeah.
he is trying to get access or permission to basically have the state take over the land. And his defense to why he wants to
Oh
do that is
god.
so investors can't, get their hands on it, and he wants to make new smart homes
Of course he
on the
does.
land. Yeah.
He
And
does.
then not to mention today the announcement of they're sending $700 per household for relief. Are you kidding me?
$700. That doesn't even cover rent if you think about it. Like, I
No.
don't know what rent goes for out there, but it can't cover it. There's no
They
way.
don't even have houses to pay rent on anymore.
Right? But I mean, oh, that's true. So what are they
Like, they
supposed
need a
to
lot
do?
more than that.
Oh my god, that's
$700 is
so
not gonna do
true.
nothing.
Because they literally have to build their lives from nothing from the ground up.
Yeah.
$700 is like a penny in that
Yeah.
equation. A penny. It
So
disgusts
it's so
me.
sad. I'm seeing these videos of people driving through the fire and jumping into the ocean and waiting 7 hours for the fires to stop,
Oh
and
my god.
just I feel for them, my heart goes out to them, and I know we don't have a huge following, but if
Yeah.
talking about it and adding donation links in our bio, which I
I
will
hope.
be adding, and they are from reputable sources, and there's about 3 or
Mhm.
4 of them, and there's a link to sign a petition so that people cannot own buy this land and steal this land from these people.
Yeah.
It'll all be in the description. If anyone can help, $5 makes a difference, literally.
Mhm. Yep.
So, just sharing it makes a difference. Like I said, I know we don't have a huge following, but I wanted to talk about it a little bit and try to raise some awareness and try to,
Yeah.
you know,
The
use
littlest
my
bit
voice any way
counts.
I can.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
matters no matter what. So, and I think even talking about it is good because then you're raising awareness and you're making
right.
sure that people know all the right details and the truth about what's really going on there. Because the average consumer would like read a news article about it and just be like, "Oh, that sucks. Oh well, it
Yeah. It
happens.
doesn't affect
Wildfires
me, so I'm
happen."
not gonna worry about it.
Exactly, but it's so much deeper though than like just a wildfire, which I didn't know. I mean, it goes so much deeper than that, and it's corrupt, man. Oh my god. It makes me
Very.
so angry, like, at the government and at the people in power and at all the, extremely top 5% wealthy of the world. Like,
Yeah.
it makes me sick to my stomach.